Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Guns, where we live in an enthusiast paradise, have important and informative discussions, as well as a little fun every now and then. In this video, we are going to reignite the fire regarding the issues with guns discharging essentially by themselves and speak about the issues that arise when things like this happen. Before we begin, you will be hearing allegedly a lot in this video. Just a reminder, this is all open source information. I am just sharing. I'm not making these claims or allegations or any type of anything like that. First, let's talk about the issues that can arise from these types of situations. This can be detrimental to gun owners and enthusiasts alike. One of the best talking points us gun owners like to use is the gun cannot shoot by itself. In hindsight, this is true, but not always the case, unfortunately. Due to these guns discharging evidently by themselves, it gives anti-gun petitioners a huge leverage on our pro-gun communities. This has become more than just a community versus community issue. These unwarranted discharges have allegedly claimed the lives or injured those who trusted their life to these particular firearms. These instances of these specific guns that were manufactured to help keep ourselves and communities safe have turned out to be a nightmare in a very specific case regarding the popular SIG P320. SIG has yet to take any accountability after many instances of their specific firearm discharging on its own, allegedly of course. Let's talk about the specific guns that have been prone to discharging essentially by themselves and their manufacturer's response to the situations. The first gun we have is the Remington Model 700. In 2014, Remington began to recall their rifles with a specific trigger group after what some claim to be decades of people trying to make the issue apparent to the Remington manufacturing company. Before we begin on specifics, here's a video posted to YouTube by Charles and Sally demonstrating the firearm discharging without a trigger pull.
Okay, guns on safety, fingers off the trigger. Okay. Perfect. Never touch the trigger. Went off.
Now that we've seen that, let's get into the specifics of the Remington Model 700. Mero and Shepard, a law office in Texas, have made a page dedicated to this situation and are sharing information and allowing victims free consultations to get their compensation potentially. The Remington 700 is a bolt-action rifle originally manufactured in the early 1960s. The gun has a centerfire bolt-action system and can hold anywhere from 3 to 5 bullets. Now that that's out the way, let's get to the nitty-gritty of this. Specifically, the Remington 700 and other Remington 7 rifles have fired with the safety on, allegedly leading to injuries and wrongful death. You see, all the weapons that were recalled have the same trigger group that was also recalled, this trigger group being the XMP or Exmark Pro. Originally, the XMP trigger was introduced after years of complaints on the original Walker trigger system, which, fun fact, was the first iteration of a trigger system put in the gun. When Walker himself tried to fix the issue while the firearm was still in the manufacturing phase, the better trigger system was turned down because it would have made the gun 6 cents more expensive. As time went on, this case became nationwide and spread to everywhere in the public. It even got its own 60-minute episode. Through all of this havoc, Remington did eventually come out and apologize and acknowledge the errors that have allegedly costed lives or injured those who were using the firearm. Let's keep up our quick pace and we're going to move on to the next firearm. We only have 3 today. For the next firearm, we have the early models of the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 2.0. I do want to clarify, this is specifically for the early models and the issue has since been resolved. Now on to the situation itself. From a consumer safety alert posted by Smith & Wesson themselves, it is stated that all M&P Shield firearms manufactured before 2013 have a hazard of, quote, where the trigger bar pin could damage the lower trigger in certain M&P shields in a way that may affect the functionality of the drop safety feature of the firearm, potentially allowing the pistol to discharge if it's dropped, end quote. In the same alert posted by Smith & Wesson, they immediately tell consumers if their gun has discharged by itself to immediately stop using the firearm and give a step-by-step process of inspecting the pistol to ensure its safety. Just below the step-by-step safety check, Smith & Wesson details this quote as well. If your firearm is affected by the condition outlined in this notice, please send your pistol to Smith & Wesson. Your firearm will be inspected and, if necessary, repaired at no cost to you. Your firearm will be returned within 5 to 7 business days. All shipping and repair costs will be covered by Smith & Wesson, end quote. You see, while all of this was going on, Smith & Wesson took care of the issues so fast, I personally couldn't find any cases where this impacted anyone. But I very well could be wrong, and if you know I'm wrong, please do share the case that you know about. Now, the issue was immediately highlighted by Guns and Ammo magazine, giving consumers a huge heads up before any true damage was done to the company reputation. Since this situation, the models made after August of 2013 have had little to no issues, and the MMP 2.0 has become one of the most sought after guns in America since. The way MMP handled this situation was probably some of the best any company has ever handled a situation like this. It was swift, it was informative, and they covered expenses. Before we move on to the last one, please like and subscribe and hit the bell for more gun content. Feel free to comment and engage with myself or anyone involved in WYO Guns, and do remember, God bless, and don't tread on me, gentlemen. Now for our last gun, we have the infamous SIG P320. This specific gun has had SIG on the chopping block multiple times. As stated in the beginning of the video, SIG has taken zero accountability and still claims that the P320 is mechanically sound, blatantly disregarding those who allegedly have lost lives or have allegedly been injured to the faulty systems of the P320. SIG even went as far as creating a whole page on their website that's supposedly telling the air quote truth about the P320. Let's be real for a minute. If your gun is allegedly going off by itself, there is no truth in trying to justify that shit. Yearly, we see videos like this
like my demonstration. I want you guys. Alright. Is that a fucking 320?
Yep.
Alright. God damn it, dude. Get this gun off my range. Don't bring it back on the range. God damn.
come out, and the P320 being the common denominator in every video. You see the video with the officers, an open source video you can find anywhere. You can go on Twitter and watch that, or X. And then the video of the firearm going off at the gun range was posted by Smart Shooters LLC on YouTube. Back to the topic at hand, The Trace posted an article in 2023 where they interviewed those who have been directly affected by this manufacturing nightmare of a firearm. Summing up one of the stories, a man had his P320 holstered in the backside of his waistband, and he went to bend over to grab his wallet. Well, I guess in bending over to grab the wallet, moved the trigger enough for the gun to discharge right into his right buttock and land in his left ankle. There's no information regarding how SIG handled this one instance, but you can only assume how they did. Also in 2023, NHPR.org released an article with quotes from documents from the military where soldiers told stories of the P320 discharging by itself. One of the military accounts speaks of when two soldiers went to squeeze past one another, their holsters smacked against each other's, and one of the soldiers' pistols discharged inside the holster. This essentially led to him shattering his foot, leading to 6 months of rehabilitation after the situation occurred. The soldiers whose gun shot him gave a testimony and said, "I don't feel safe around these weapons anymore." This is impacting our entire community. I mean, let's think about it. In our country right now, there is a weapon manufacturing company who has taken zero accountability. This gun has allegedly shot American soldiers. This gun has allegedly shot American civilians and has drove all the hard work pro-gun lobbyists have done into the dirt. Now, if we as a whole, as the entirety of the 2A community, stop buying this firearm, they will have no choice but to hear our complaints. They will have no choice but to apologize and make proper changes if we, the people, stop supporting their company. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide what you're gonna do, but if you don't have the means to sell everything you already own and you rock a lot of SIG stuff, don't do it. I mean, just don't sell it, use it for now. I mean, hell, I know gun attachments are super expensive, and I personally rock a Romeo on my rifle, but I can't ignore this. You best believe when I see an EOTech, Aimpoint, or Holosun on holiday sale, I will be buying that. I might even go a little bit cheaper and go the Siley route if I really want to get rid of it. As we're currently speaking, SIG is in many court cases, but all of them eventually being dismissed in the end. I don't know if you guys know this, but SIG actually has a page on their website dedicated to their news and updates, essentially flexing how they're winning against an average Joe trying to get compensated for the gun allegedly firing. Fear not though, SIG has lost in court before. Actually, they've lost around $11 million to a man who was injured by a holstered SIG. And I also do want to tell you, SIG, if you're watching, anybody from SIG, This is all open source information. The links that I was using for all of my information gathering will be provided in the description. So SIG, don't cease and desist me, because I do not own the information. I'm just spreading it. I'm spreading awareness. If you have an issue, cease and desist the big companies who are calling you out in these links. And now for the final message to you all. After all the instances of guns firing by themselves, essentially we have seen two huge manufacturers immediately come to community aid to warn, compensate, and fix their issues. But when there is good in the world, there will also be evil. SIG's refusal to take responsibility for the alleged instances has begun to show the true colors of those who run the company. So we as a community cannot allow ourselves to be battered. We must keep circulating information, otherwise this will become a thing of the past. So please keep sharing information, and do remember everybody, keep God in your life, gurus, and don't tread on me.